them fight fungus, bacteria, viruses, parasites, and infections before they take hold, and it regenerates cells and builds oxygen-rich blood to fight against diabetes and cancer. Only $59.95 with free shipping. Call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088. Or visit TaheeboTeaClub.com. Taheebo is spelled T-A-H-E-E-B, like boy, O, then the word tea, and then the word club. So the complete website is TaheeboTeaClub.com. Or call us at 818-610-8088. That's 818-610-8088.
Hi, this is Ferran Dozier, inviting you to join me for the Ferran Dozier Show, playing music to feed your soul and to dance to. With the hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, music marks a place in time, the soundtrack to your life, right here on the Ferran Dozier Show. Tune in live Tuesday, 6 p.m., 106.5, and AM 1050, also available on all streaming platforms. The Ferran Dozier Show on KCAA.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
All right. Well. I guess you're probably looking like, where's Cornelius? It's the Renaissance man. Well, I'm sitting in today. And I'm Charles Whitehead. And I'm the cool vet. But I'm sitting in on the Renaissance man today. He's taking the day off. And we're going to have a different kind of a show for you. So, bottom line is, I'm here at the radio station and we're doing some changes and things like that. Cornelius will be back next week. He just wanted me to sit in and, just do this thing for him. He had some prior obligation, and I'm here, and we're not going to do the Renaissance man style. We're going to do what I do. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk a quick minute about Father's Day. That's coming up tomorrow. And then I'm going to have my former co-host at the Cool Veteran Show, Martha Varela. She's going to call in, and we're going to have a little quick talk about the American Heart Association. And then the conclusion of the show will be more about music. So I'm a songwriter, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Suno and just the whole copywriting and the whole legality of it. And I've been kind of looking into that just to see, because before Suno, it was always just, I'm just creating songs through either live instruments that I record or through software that I have on my computer with the program that I use. So anyway, we want to give it up for KCAA, the staff here, and the no listener is left behind for sure. So with all, I don't know, I have two engineers, and they said don't mention them, but we know Joe is the regular, and I forgot the other guy's name, but Robert. Okay, so these are the guys who are working for us and working with us, and I appreciate their help. And I'm going to have I'm going to show you, like I said, we'll talk about Father's Day, which is coming up tomorrow. And if you're a father, I want to say Happy Father's Day to you. And my father passed, it's been in 2012, so it's been a little while. And but he was a nice father. He was cool. My father was kind of kicked back and cool and all that other stuff. And so that's that. And then once I have Martha call in, we're going to talk about the what we're doing. We're going to be co-chairing a committee for the American Heart Association, which is a privilege to be doing that for such a huge organization. We're going to be co-chairing. I believe it's the Stroke Committee, and Martha will be calling in. And when she calls in, then we'll get to talking about that. But again, the main tip of today is music. Once we get to that point. So anyway, on Father's Day, it's like people are already telling me, like even just this morning, I was talking to someone and they was like, "Oh, I almost forgot it was Father's Day tomorrow." I said, "Well, the fathers are used to that. Nothing new." But then it's like, okay, like when Mother's Day comes, we know Mother's Day is coming up 2, 3, 4, 5, a whole week ahead. We're prepping for that long before. But the fathers are more kickback, so that's the way it is. Fathers are like, and if we go back to in the old school, the fathers were doing they were always the one that would go to work and then come home and just kind of kick back from that. So in the old traditional, then fathers weren't really that important they were important, but the Father's Day recognition wasn't a big deal. Well, not like today. Today's world, if you go to a restaurant on Mother's Day, you're lucky if you can get a meal or if you can get in, or you're going to be waiting for 2 or 3 hours. But if you go on Father's Day, or you might hear crickets up in there. That's just how it works. And, it's not a big deal. So fathers are all right. Fathers traditionally, like I said, they used to be the ones that were going to work all the days. But the mothers would turn around and, they would always get all of the accolades because the mothers were holding their homes together and things like that. But now in society today, the mothers are working, the fathers are working. I mean, it's some families are, the mother, father, and the kids are working, and they're all living to try to piece it all together to make sure they have an income. So it kind of, it happens. But, we wanted to give a big shout out to the fathers for Father's Day. And if anyone has anything different that they do outside of, that's a lot of times the fathers don't want to go to dinner. They say, we don't need to go to dinner. And that's why a lot of the restaurants are not really jumping off that way. Or, fathers like, hey, I'm okay just being at home. Just, let me kick back and watch the game or just whatever, just fix a meal. And, that's not a big deal to some fathers where, some fathers, they want it all, And so it kind of reminds me of a scene on a TV show I saw years ago, and the father was having a birthday, and he was like, "You know what?" They said, "On my birthday, I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone." And it's like, I don't want to have no kids, nobody bugging me, this and that, blah blah blah. So what he did was, on his birthday, in the beginning, he was like, yeah, they would show him. He was, walking around. He had the music. He was dancing by himself. He was kicking back. He was relaxed. He was having a big ball. And then I guess it all kind of kicked in that he was by himself. And so it kind of wore down. They said, this isn't as much fun as I thought it would be. So anyways, at the end of the day, we want to appreciate our fathers and know that they're the ones. They are important. The mothers our mothers are important. And knowing it's Father's Day tomorrow, I'm just going to tell you a quick story about a song I wrote. It's called "God Created Mothers," and it was going to be something else, but then it just hit me. I said, you know what? This is a Mother's Day song, and Mother's Day just passed, but doesn't matter. I'll play it for you later on as soon as we get queued up over here. We're waiting for our guest, our other guest, to call in, and we'll see how that works out. And she'll be back. That number is the same as, yeah, that's the number I gave. Right, we're good. The engineers will let me know to make sure we have because we're having some changes over here with the phone number. So you wanted to make sure I knew the call-in number is correct. So anyway, once she gets in, we're going to talk about the American Heart Association, and I'm excited to be part of that organization. It's these they are important and are doing a lot of things. We've done a lot of things with them. We, as a former president of the Paralyzed Vets of America, the California chapter, we did a lot of things with the Heart Association, and they're really it's a great organization. I mean, I can go back to, at least what was that, 12, 13 years ago, when my group played at one of their heart walks in the city of Long Beach over there, and it was so then we went to the there was a separate thing. I wasn't with the Paralyzed Vets then, but my group Per Se, and that's PERSE, 2 words, Per Se the band, we were there, and a couple of years ago with the veterans we went, and just so happened to be that the walk, they had the heart walk at the Rose Bowl, and that was quite an event. A lot of people, a lot of things happening, and so what we do now, we just we'll play our music, and I'm into the music scene more now. I have more time. I'm sort of semi-retired, and have more time to just do things for myself. It kind of works out for me. And, there was a time when I was just ripping and running and doing lots of stuff for the community and different organizations. And I've had some health issues lately, so I slowed down a bit and just said, I need to focus on my health, which is good. But we're going to see how everything works out today. It's going to be fine. I come without a script. I'm just me. I just talk. I can talk the whole hour if I want to about anything, but I'm especially going to talk about the changes that I found in my songwriting capabilities. And then I do teach songwriting through Rancho Los Amigos Wellness Center. That's Rancho Los Amigos in the city of Downey. It's a national rehab center, and I enjoy that. Just the whole thing about doing the music and just sharing the music with people. And so my the funny thing about so I was talking about Suno with the whole music thing is my mentor, who his first job ever was engineering for Aretha Franklin way back when. He was like, he called me up, and this must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago or something, and he was like, you have to check out this Suno thing. And I had a friend already talking about Suno. He had been talking about Suno for a couple of years, how he was just checking it out, and he's getting better at it and all of this. And I was like, oh, nice. And so when my mentor called me and he started telling me about Suno, I was like, what? Wait a minute. You're connected with Hollywood, and the movies and the music, and this guy is like, he's done work for Michael Jackson, Phil Collins. He's mixing all kinds of superstars' music, and he's mixing music for people who are in different countries, and I said, wait a minute, he said, yeah, you got to check it out, and he's endorsing Suno, and I was like, what? So what I've been doing is I've been checking out Suno, and I said, well, what's the legality? I know this is new, it's AI and all of that, and what's the reality of being able to publish this music, without having problems with copyright. So I called my mentor, and his name is Magic Marino, and Magic was telling me, he said, why don't you just get the music? And this is what I do. And, so he said, just get the music and then, download the stems, that's making all the parts separate, the instruments and the vocals and everything. He said, then just sing the song yourself. He said, so you own the music through Suno, but then when you sing it yourself, you own the copyright of the song. I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. So if you're listening to this and you're a Suno user, if you're a Suno user, or if you're a songwriter or you know, whatever, because you know the whole thing is what the industry is trying to do now is keep people who don't sing, they can't sing, they can't do music, they can't do anything. They're trying to get them to not be able to just mass upload a bunch of AI songs and you know, and start getting paid for it. And I understand that, you know, so they want to have some humanization to that. And you know, and that's my thing. It's like, well, I would never release a song that I say is me singing it if I can't sing it, you know. So what I'll do is I'll get a song and I'll go in and you know, take the vocals out and I'll sing it myself. Then it's like, okay, and if I can't sing it, if the, you know, sometimes the pitch is too high or whatever, then I just won't do it. I know there are people out there who don't care that way, you know. It's like, I don't care, I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, I can't do any of this stuff. And then they turn around and, you know, they'll be putting their voice on there and, you know, go all the way up to the top and be like Milli Vanilli and then fall. You know, I don't want to, you know, that part, I remember that happening when it went down, and, you know, I don't ever want to be part of anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take like a 3-minute break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk some more about this Suno stuff.
This song is dedicated to all of the mothers in the world, past, present, and future. Rest in heaven, Ma. You know she came from the heavens. There's no way she was made on earth. Just one word from her mouth, and the whole world started to turn. And I'm obsessed with her greatness, her wisdom comes straight from the source, and she's so effortlessly gritty. That is something that can't be taught. God created mothers, the softest touch that you ever felt. I love her like no other. She loves me like no one else. The best thing about a mother, the love she shares is always real. She works so hard like no other. She made me believe in what I feel. She's the most beautiful spirit. She worked so hard to teach me right. Because of her, I could feel it, the total value of my life. So I'm doing my best not to ruin a thing. God created mothers, the softest touch that you ever felt. She makes me wanna go to heaven just to thank the Lord for what he's done. 'Cause there's no way she was made on earth. A mother's life has its own greatness. Her wisdom comes straight from the source. And she's so effortlessly gritty. That is something that can't be taught. God created mothers, the softest touch that you ever felt. I love her like no other. She loves me like no one else.
All right, I'm back. And that was a song I wrote called God Created Mothers. I know it's Father's Day tomorrow, but, you know, mothers are always important anyway. You know, Father's Day is Mother's Day too, you know. Most of the time, that's the way it goes. It's like, you know, the mothers are, on Mother's Day, the fathers can't say a word. And on Mother's Day, the mother's saying everything. So I don't know if we have Martha on the line yet. Let's see here. But that was a song that I wrote, and my normal way of songwriting is just to I'll go find instruments, or I'll play the instrument, or I'll use the software that I have. But this whole Suno thing is what I'm talking about now. I've kind of learned how to prompt and create things. So it's people say, oh, it's just cheating. Well, you know, that's what they said about, you know, when you had fax machines and you know, everything. There's always a change, and things change for sure. And so I'm not worried about that. You know, like I say, if I can't sing the song, I'm not going to put my name on it. You know, I know even though you can own the music, like through Suno, but you can't, you know, you can't copyright just 100% AI. So I don't do that anyway. I just download the music, and then I'll take pieces from the original, and I'll play parts or add extra stuff or whatever. We're still trying to get, you know, we have these temporary phone numbers, and we're trying to get Martha connected over here, and they're still working on it. But yeah, that was a great song. I mean, you know, since I've always, like when my mother passed 3 years ago, it'll be actually 4 years in November, and 23. Actually, it'll be, yeah, it was 22. So in 4 years it'd be. In November, it'd be 4 years. And so when she passed, I wrote a song called, okay, I think she's connected. She says she's on, but I don't hear her.
Hello?
Okay, there you are. All right,
Oh,
Martha.
hi, how are you?
Martha's right. Here we got Martha Barilla. You know, she's, you know, decided to join us. So, I don't know if you were able to hear that song that was just playing.
I did. That was a nice song.
Yeah, so that was my, you know, my Mother's Day song it'll be ready for before Mother's Day. Hopefully, you know, people grab a hold and it'll become a big hit. So I'm talking music. Okay, so anyway, we got Martha on the line now, you know, so I don't have to talk by myself, which is great. How you doing, Martha? And, you know, I kind of told him, you know, I had that, we had the Cool Veteran show / hour, but I'm filling in for the Renaissance band Cornelius today. But we're doing the show, and I asked Martha to join me, and so we can talk about the American Heart Association. I kind of talked about them, so we're going to break away from the music for a second, and we're going to bring Martha in and tell us some of the things you like. You know, I kind of gave a little quick description of, you know, just we're going to be chairing the stroke committee, but just give me some information. Share the fans, share the people in radio land here. What you just experienced.
Absolutely. And thank you for inviting me to come speak today a little bit regarding heart health. And as Charles mentioned, we are both going to be co-chairing the stroke committee with the American Heart Association and their efforts here in LA County. I had the opportunity to speak to the board of directors this week at their last board of directors meeting for the fiscal year. And so I had a chance to kind of hear some of the great work that the board of directors was doing. Sometimes you don't get to see some of that when you're at some of the activities. But when I spoke a little bit about the connection to heart health as it pertains to the veteran community, there were just some things that stuck out that I wanted to elaborate on and share with all communities. And it was very eye-opening, very insightful. And as someone who has recently come in a closer connection to the American Heart Association, personally, I was able to benefit from some of the events and activities, outreach events and activities that are aimed at bringing more awareness to heart health. And I think that that's so important, like I said, for so many communities, not just the veteran community, although Charles and I are both veterans. But again, I wanted to just elaborate a little bit, if I could, on some of the information that I received in regards to LA County. And that, again, was very eye-opening to me as I did the presentation to the board last week. But currently in LA County, heart disease and stroke are the leading causes of death. That was alarming for me to learn recently, and that half of the people in LA County with high blood pressure do not have it controlled. And I would argue may not even be aware that their blood pressure is high. And this is where, for me, 2 years ago, I first became aware of my blood pressure being high. I went to the LA Heart Walk, which is held every year in October. I will also give you the date for this year's 2026 LA Heart Walk. But that was the first time I had ever personally participated in an American Heart Association outreach event and activity. Not to also to mention how well organized and put together it was. But I happened to just roll over and get, I took advantage of the free blood pressure checking station. And that's when I first discovered my blood pressure was high. And again, that was an eye-opener for me, but something that I needed to know as I'm currently now coming out of the tail end of some health concerns and health issues that I had. And that was one of the first indicators was the high blood pressure, because I've always had low blood pressure. So reading that really hit home for me, but more of an importance for me to share that point to others, that if you're able to get, I know they've got those free blood pressure cuff readings at Walgreens and at CVS. Take a look at your blood pressure, especially if you're getting up there in age, over 40, over 50, because most people don't even know. And again, to get it under control, because that is usually a really, early sign that there is something going on in there with your blood pressure, or with the blood flow, the oxygen, all that stuff to and from your heart. And it's just so important, again, giving this really alarming statistic that heart disease and stroke are the leading cause of death in LA County.
You know what?
Again, varying community by community, because some communities, again, are worse than others. Your resources, your lack of resources, health and medical resources. But there are, again, free resources out there in the community. Again, CVS and Walgreens, I know, have the free blood pressure cuffs. So there are certain places you can go and certain things you can do to just kind of start that awareness, kind of start that preventative, those activities and events that you can participate in that'll help you on the preventative side before things, again, get worse. And, if you're just not aware how that impacts your health, in a worse way. So, again, a couple things that the American Heart Association is doing, the things that are working on their behalf as they're trying to impact the communities that they serve are, again, the prevention activities and events that they're having, the outreach events that they are having in the communities, and just, again, trying to provide access to nutrition. The other thing that they did was they held a food drive every year at the Heart Walk. So everybody is encouraged to bring a donated food item. They really do a lot around education in terms of healthy food, healthy food. So they are very active in the communities, getting food donations organized, getting food donations to the food shelves and into the communities that need it the most, and physical activity programs. So I know next week the the Heart Association will be partnering with Angel City Sports at an event next weekend. Charles can talk a little bit about that. They will be having a booth there. I think it's at Cerritos College. And
El Camino. It's at El Camino College.
To talk a little bit more about CPR and how kids, even young kids, can get involved, even to just start that awareness in case of ever being, unfortunately, witness to a heart attack or a stroke. That how important it is for anyone to just have that, awareness and knowledge of what to do in the event that you witness, a heart attack or any sort of a stroke or condition in that way. So just a couple of things that they, are really trying to stress in the community. Their emergency response, they have partnered to train over 500,000 LA residents in CPR in just 1 year. So again, really committing to getting out into the community to teach the importance of CPR and how easy it is to learn the basics, ABCs of CPR. And it's critical, again, because survival from cardiac arrest depends on the immediate action. So if that one person is there that has some kind of knowledge on what to do, could save someone's life. And especially if that someone's life is someone in your family, and how helpless one would feel if you weren't able to do something to help in the event of cardiac arrest.
It's good to know those signs.
Yes. Heart health systems improvement. So they're also supporting hospitals and clinics to improve stroke care and hypertension management. Charles and I have also kind of partnered with them to collaborate with other community organizations, and we're looking at, again, that's another integral piece, is other health programs that work with stroke and heart attack, cardiac programs, hypertension management, stroke care, all of that stuff. So again, trying to reach as many people, as many patients, millions of patients nationally, because the American Heart Association has been around for, almost 100 years. They will be celebrating soon their 100th year. So a very committed organization to such a great cause. And it really, really matters because early detection of risk is the key. Better chronic disease management. If you do find that you have some issues with your heart, it's better for you to find out that information early so that you can manage and reverse any damage that might happen to your heart, not knowing that this is kind of going on silently inside, and we can't always tell. And then again, just a higher survival rate in cardiac emergencies if you ever do find yourself having to experience something like that. So it's an opportunity for all of us, again, to bring awareness, but also the importance of how we can partner. And again, to the speaking back to the upcoming event, the Heart Walk that's held every year in October. I want to say it's October 3rd of 2026 at the Rose Bowl. Your family can sign up to be a team. There's a lot of swag items and a lot of freebies that you can get while you're there. Free food, free healthy fruits and vegetables, activities that you can do, again, as a family, as a team, with your coworkers, to sign up and just to really bring awareness around, heart health and just how important it is to really to be as informed as you can be about, healthy hearts and,
Yes.
Heart health. So just wanted to share a couple of those really important items and topics that I spoke about, but just that I learned, more importantly. And I know Charles and I have had the opportunity of going to 2 years of the Heart Walk,
yes.
in October. We went last year and the year before, and so we're looking again to kind of get a team together of about 5 people to attend, and just again so that we can just continue to support the great work that the American Heart Association is doing, but also benefit from the information that they have. Just such a well put together activity and event in October. If you have any more information that you might need to download, or in the meantime, go to their website, the American Heart Association website. Let's see if I can get that address really quick for you.
Is that AHA or something like that, or is it
Yes.
spelled out?
Let me look here.
Yeah, it's a good, you want to go and check out the information, and it's sad that, it's good that the Heart Association is, educating people, because I know a lot of people who are older and they just don't go to the doctors, they have
No.
this fear, this fear of, I don't want to go, and, and it's just like that's being not very smart. I'll just say it that
No.
way.
And it's easy to put it off.
It
It
is,
took me,
yes.
2 times to go to get 2 readings, almost a year apart, that my blood pressure was high. I mean, it's the clue. And, we don't prioritize the health, number one, but to see the importance of the signs and what the signs are trying to tell us. They're
Right.
there. The website, quickly, is www.heart.org. And that brings you to the page where you can get some more information about the Greater Los Angeles Heart and Stroke Walk, again on October 3rd of 2026 at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena, California. You're also able to get some more information. You can click on the home button, and that'll take you to the main page so that you can also read. They've got lots of really important information on there, again, regarding heart health and stroke, that, you just might find very helpful. Or maybe if it isn't you, someone in your
If it's
family.
somebody else.
Because a lot of people do go to these heart walks in remembrance of,
thousands of people are there.
someone in their family who has passed away, or a loved one who has survived, a cardiac emergency. So
Yes.
really, really good opportunity to get involved and to get information. I mean, and that's, again, why I wanted to come on and just share a little bit about.
That's great. Thank you,
Yeah.
Martha. I mean, this is information that we want to continue to share. And like she said earlier, I'll be there at the Angel City games next Friday. I'll be there Friday. I'll be doing the music. So, if you have a chance, come out. It's a really nice event. People in the adaptive sports programs are growing, and Angel City just wants to be, they're shooting to be the number one. I mean, I think they're the busiest adaptive sports program in the country right now. And, either way, those are great people. I'll be there next Friday, and our American Heart Association will be there. You can come over and get free blood pressure checks and all of that stuff. And so, we look forward to see you there. And then, when the Heart Walk comes. And so we'll continue to pass that information out to make sure all the listeners know. Of course, like I said, I'm sitting in for the Renaissance Man, and so part of my focus is music. So I'm going to I'm going to play another song for you. It's called "A Beautiful Soul." Now, this was one of the first songs that I wrote using the Suno app, but I was like, you know what? It's like I can't sing like this guy, so I scrapped the lyrics. I used my own. Of course, when I put them in, I put my lyrics in anyway, and so I scrapped the vocals and I did everything else. I added some organs. I added some things, and so listen to this song. It's called "A Beautiful Soul," and then we'll be back and we'll talk about that some more.
You walk in, and the room gets brighter right away. Sun-kissed skin, like a summer secret every day. Anytime that I see you, even when I hear from you, could be just the thought of you, tells me something that is true. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day, oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you smile, it just puts a bigger smile on my face. Whenever you're around, you know just how to brighten my cloudy days. When I look into your eyes and I see what's shining through, what I feel so deep inside, a touch of soul that comes from you. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't even know what you do to my heart. Just walking in slow, turning light into art. If this is what grace feels like, I'll take it every time, just to see you shine, see you shine, see you shine. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day. You're a beautiful soul, you keep color in my world. Every moment I'm with you, I'm so happy, a better man too. You're a beautiful soul, heaven hiding in a girl. Every time that I see you, you brighten my day, you brighten my day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So I'm back. We want to give a big thanks to Martha for signing in and giving us that Heart Walk American Heart Association education lesson there. We hope to see you guys come out and check out the events and everything. And so there was a song that I wrote called "Beautiful Soul," and I've sent it to people just to, it's kind of, because it's officially not published yet, but and I haven't mastered it or anything. It's still in demo kind of mode, but I'm working on that one. I have there's a slew of songs. I'm just really excited because I have it's just like having a new a tool in your toolbox. So it's kind of like what this pseudo stuff does is I could take pieces from that. It's kind of like going from using a screwdriver to using a drill to tighten up the screws. It's just another tool for me. And so, I again, the legality of it is what I'm looking down the road, and I guess if you sing the song, and this is what I hear from people who talk about it. They said the distributors and different sites of music, they're looking for some humanization in those songs. They don't want just to say, just to hear someone who can't sing or play an instrument or anything, and they're just doing this 100% creating these songs through AI and just uploading them. So, there's kind of a pushback on the AI music. They call it not real music, even though you can hear it. So technically, it is music because anything that's created is, if you can hear it or see it, it's actually real. And even copying something, it's the same thing. So that's basically, like that was that. And then I have another song that I'll share with you. It's called. So let me finish telling you about the feedback that I got from A Beautiful Soul. One of my friends, his wife actually heard it, and she says, "Yeah, I listened to that." She said, "I like it." She said, "But it's only one problem." I said, well, "What's that?" She says, "I'm already married. You talking to me." She said, it really touched personally. It was touching her, and I've heard that from I sent it to men and women, and so it kind of brings in your person. It gives you a little personalization. And I said, "Oh, okay. That's nice to know." Everyone who hears it, it's like, "Oh, that's a hit." I said, "Okay, great." It's like it's so. This I'm just using these tools I get from Suno now. It's like, oh, okay, well, hey, if it helps, then great. So and either way, I put songs together. I mean, I have a bunch of songs that I've written that the music is created. I don't have lyrics for, or for the most part, I've done a lot of songs, and even through Suno, I've created extra songs. I just haven't went through a process. So then I'm gonna play one more song for you, and then this one is called "He Did It Again." Now, before we started, I'm gonna just let you know I had music for this I was working on. It's kind of like a gospel quartet kind of a sound, and then but then when I created this song, and I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute, so. And I always go in and make sure the lyrics are what I want. I don't just take the lyrics that, like if you do a prompt and Suno creates a song, I take the lyrics, and a lot of times I put my own lyrics in. And this is called "He Did It Again." So I'm gonna play that, and then then we'll talk a little before we end the day. So "He Did It Again."
Did it again. You picked me up when I was gone. You stayed with me. You saved my soul when I had none. You called my name and made me whole. I was held by sin. You broke that chain. I was lost in the dark. You lit my way. He saved my soul. He did it again. You made me whole. He died for my sin. You took my place. I carry the scar, you carry love. I bring the dirt, you bring me up. Every broken road leads to your hand. Every veiled hole, you understand. I was held by chain. You broke that chain. I was lost in the dark. You lit my way. He saved my soul. He did it again. You make me whole. He died for my sins. You took my place. He did it again. Amazing grace. My strength runs out, you still remain. When my heart backs down, you call my name. No grave can keep what love has claimed. He did it once, twice. He never stopped blessing my life. He'll do it again. He did it again. He saved my soul. He did it again. You make me whole. He died for my sins. You took my place. He did it again. Amazing grace. Amazing grace. God bless you all.
All right. So, you did it again. You know, that's a song that goes to the heart. And, you know, me being I tell you, in my lifetime, I've been in 11 different hospitals. And some of them more than once for different reasons. I've had 2 major car accidents. I've had broken bones. I've had blood clots, and and at the end of the day, here I am doing exactly what I love to do, and that's the music and talking to you guys. So this is my whole songwriting thing is I have more time to deal with the songwriting now, and it just it's exciting. There's times it used to be when I first started, I would be up till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning working on songwriting, knowing that I had to go to work by 8:30 or something. But now what I do is I gauge myself. I'll deal with it. I'm singing, and
You have 2 minutes.
and there's a point when I just decide, you know what? Okay, I'm going to get to this point, and then I'm going to just stop and say, instead of me just doing it till I get sleepy and tired and you lose focus, then that's it. All right, but this is the way you do it, and so I'm having fun. I enjoy what I do. I mean, I'm not 100% healthy, but you know what? I feel as great as I've ever felt in my life, and that matters. And I always tell people, hey, keep your head up and refuse to lose, because life is good. And my thing is, I don't believe in depression, and I know it's not easy, but yeah, I've had my ups and downs and things like that. I've gone through a lot of things, but you know what? When the bottom line is, hey,
Yeah, 1 minute.
I'm still doing it, and I'm here, and I want to give big ups to the guys over here, our on-staff engineers. I want to give shout out to KCAA. Of course, that's the the station that leaves no listener behind. And I guess we're going to call it a shot. This is the Renaissance Man. Cornelius will be back next week. But I'm Charles Whitehead, your guest for today, and former host of the Cool Veteran Hour. I'll be back here doing a show soon, don't worry. And I want to give my thanks to Martha Varela for coming in, and we're going to give it back to the studio, guys. Check out Renaissance Man next week, and whatever you do, have fun doing it. I'm out.
E-Digits. Lock 'em in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
The Tahibo Tea Club is the only FDA-registered manufacturer of original pure Pau de Arco Tahibo tea in the United States. Just $59.95 with free shipping. Call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088 or visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Call us at 818-610-8088.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email CEO@kcaaradio.com.
KCAA.
With 60 years of fascinating facts, this is the man from yesterday. And back in time we go to this time in 1982 top TV shows. 60 Minutes with a 19-share Fantasy Island, with an 18-share Heart to Heart with an 18-share, and Alice with an 18-share. And the top TV show this time in 1982 is MASH with a 19-share.
I'm Mike Wallace.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Dan Rather.
I'm Harry Reasoner. Those stories and more tonight on 60 Minutes.
And from this time in 1958, Jesse Presley, 62-year-old grandfather of Elvis, is signed with Legacy Records. He is now in the process of recording his first album consisting of 4 Mississippi cotton-picking tunes. Here's one of them.
Every time I go to town, somebody kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if I didn't know hound. Stop that kicking my dog around. Every time I go to town, somebody kicking my dog around.
And from this time in 1974, passing actor Joe Flynn, who was only 49, best known for his appearances in Disney films and a co-star of TV's McHale's Navy.
You're not a naval officer, you're a naval disaster. Why, your whole record here reads like an encyclopedia of lost battles.
Oh, well, sir, now, I had very high marks in naval officers' etiquette.
With more at manfromyesterday.com.
I was out working, a car out of the blue crossed the center line and crunched me. There was nothing I could do. Everybody thinks that they can do their own attorney, but you can't. There's too many legal hoops, there's too many options.
Insurance companies love taking advantage of people who try to handle their cases alone. Seriously injured? Call Konowski Bresny. We get your worth.
I'm very happy with the result. I don't think any other attorney could have done a better job.
Call Konowski Bresny at 888, the letter U, count and the number 2, or see me on the web at bresnylaw.com.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carton. Vice President J.D. Vance says he expects to travel to Switzerland in the coming days to join U.S. talks with Iran. Vance confirmed his plans today, telling Fox News it may happen as soon as tomorrow. He noted talks are underway after President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff arrived there earlier today. Vance said commercial ships are moving large amounts of cargo and oil through Iran's key waterways under the ceasefire agreement.
The Straits of Hormuz yesterday, that is a record going back to even before the conflict started. So you're seeing those ships move.
Vance's remarks came before Iran announced today it is closing the vital waterway due to Israeli attacks in Lebanon. The U.S. men's soccer team has clinched a top spot in the World Cup after Turkey lost to Paraguay on Friday night. The next game for Team USA, Thursday, against Turkey. Lisa Carton, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to the Inland Talk Express, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, KCAA Loma Linda.
You're listening to the Tahibo Tea Club radio show, hosted by Milan Vukovic, founder of the Tahibo Tea Club.
With a little bit of effort towards good nutrition, exercise, and our tea, you'll be able to get off of insulin or other diabetes drugs in about 2 months. And not only that, many times diabetics are overweight, not because they're eating 5 times as much as everyone else, but because, of course, their organs are not processing blood sugar properly and metabolizing food properly. Now, during the 2-month healing process, a diabetic may only lose, say, 5 pounds or so. But after their organs are healed and processing blood sugar properly and metabolizing food properly, they'll start to lose 10, 15 pounds a month until they get down close to their proper weight. One day, a man phoned me to tell me he was going to send me a picture of his wife. And I said, well, okay, but why? And he says that his wife was a diabetic, and she kept taking her medication, started drinking Tahibo tea. After 2 months, she was able to get off the medications, and during those 2 months, she had lost about 5 pounds. But after that, she started losing 15 pounds a month, and in 4 months, lost 60 pounds, and she went from 208 pounds to 148 pounds, and she looks and she feels fantastic. Well, no kidding. If you take a knapsack with 60 pounds of rock off your back, of course, you're definitely going to feel fantastic. So it's tremendously beneficial. And for diabetes, it's easy to tell that the tea is working, and they can get off of insulin in about 2 months. Now, with different conditions, there are different healing times that are involved. With infections, for example, a tooth infection you can get rid of faster than you can with penicillin. You can get rid of a tooth infection in a week. So let's say your mouth is throbbing like you see in the cartoons, like your head's going to explode like a bomb. You take a drink of the tea and you hold